Big Guy here. Today, I'm going to talk about 3 things you can do, 3 areas in your life you can focus on to improve your dating. The first, get in shape. If you're out of shape, go work out. I ain't saying you got to be six-pack ass, Mr. Adonis, taking steroids, all this stuff. No. But what I am saying is you should ideally want to be below 15% body fat. You want to be able to, at least bench press your body weight. If not, somewhere between your body weight up to 300 pounds, somewhere between there. You want to be able to squat between 300 and 400 pounds. You'll be able to deadlift at least 300 pounds. And finally, you'll be able to at least jog a mile in under 10 minutes. If you can do all those, you're doing okay. But for the most part, getting in shape, losing a little bit of weight, building a little bit of bulk will make you way more attractive. The next thing, that's getting in shape is kind of obvious. That's the one thing everyone knows, no one really wants to do. It's probably the hardest to work on too. But it is very, very, very important, especially in today's society where everything is so looks focused, where being in shape is associated with having a certain amount of social status. So the better you look, the more perceived value you're going to have, especially in today's society where everything, is about social media and, everybody wants to take a picture. Like if you're with a girl, she wants to show off her man to all her girlfriends. Like, look how hot he is. And looks don't really matter in a way, but also they matter a lot. So you definitely need to work out and get in shape and get a little bit of style. But there's so many resources on that. And chances are most people already know how to work out, know how to lose weight. They just don't want to do it. It's not easy. Trust me, I know. All right, that's kind of the obvious one. The next one, sales. What? Sales? Yeah, learn how to sell. Because all dating is selling yourself. So basically, you're the product, right? You got to believe that you're a good product. You got to develop yourself that you're a good product. And the woman's a buyer. So you got to go out and sell yourself to a woman. You got to overcome all her obstacles, make sure that, you're right for what she needs. And finally, you got to learn how to close the deal. You can talk about the product all day long. You can, be like, this product right here is amazing. You would love it. It will change your life. But until you say, hey, are you ready to buy it? Until you, close the deal. It don't matter how good the product is if the person ain't going to, buy it because they would never offer the opportunity to close the deal. Sales is definitely one of the biggest things to help yourself. There's an old saying, you can always tell how good of a salesman someone is based on how hot their spouse is. So if you have a guy that, say sells cars for a living and he has a really hot wife and like hotter than him, that means he's got a pretty good gift of gab. He's pretty good at selling things. He'll be a good salesman. If you got a guy that's, a decent looking guy, but his wife is atrocious, chances are he's probably not a good salesman because he lacks confidence in his product, if you know what I mean. So sales can help you get dates. Sales can help you, learn how to close a deal, if you will. I don't want to necessarily say get laid, but, it depends on your dating goals. Some people date for relationships, other people date for one-night stands. So sales definitely helps in the short term. If you want to get better at dating women, want to get better at opening women, want to get better at closing the deal, getting her phone number, getting her contact information, setting up dates, sales is what you're looking for. And finally, the last thing you need to study, if you really want this right here, can improve your current relationship, improve future relationships, actually improve your life all the way around. Study how to be a good leader. Now that's kind of odd, right? A leader, you see, traditionally speaking, men are the leaders in the relationship. And that may not be the case for every relationship. Certainly there are some relationships where women are 100%, the breadwinner, the leader, the authority figure. Some men, may bring home the bacon, but it's the wife that's doing all the cooking, you know what I mean? So the bacon's kind of worthless, it's them to cook it. So there are some relationships like that, and that's cool. Whatever works for you, as long as you're happy. I ain't saying every relationship has to be a certain way, but most women are programmed to follow. Most men are actually programmed to lead. They're natural leaders. Problem is, Very few people are taught how to be a good leader in today's society. Oh my God. I didn't really understand it in high school, but looking back on it, I was a smart kid. I was in those, advanced classes, the leadership classes. And let me tell you, they taught me jack shit about being a leader, about being a good leader. I learned more about being a leader from reading, fiction books, from actually reading historical figures and their leadership skills. I learned more about being leaders from that than I ever did from high school or public education. And it's kind of sad, really. And honestly, even most jobs don't teach their managers, people in leadership roles, how to actually be leaders. And I don't know if you've been to, most stores lately, any retail store, restaurant, you can always tell when there's a bad manager because employees aren't happy. Everyone kind of has an attitude. Everyone's, I don't want to say overworked, but definitely kind of stressed out. And they're all kind of snippy. If they had like a better job option, they'd probably quit and leave right then and there. And the sad thing is, there's a lot of places out there with bad leadership, bad management. And it's just because it's kind of a lost art. People don't understand, that when you're leading, number one, I say the best way for a leader to be a leader is to have a clearly defined goal and try to reach that goal. And I don't want to say order, but delegate his people that he's leading towards that goal. But more importantly, the people that are, helping the leader achieve that goal, the leader has to take care of those people. He has to, make them feel appreciated, pay them for their work, pay them, what they deserve, if not better, give them bonuses, give them attaboys, attagirls, good job, keep it up, push them a little bit, and if need be, lead by example, because if they're following an area, a good leader needs to jump in there and take up the slack and show them how it's done. And then, encourage them to do better. So how does that relate to relationships? Okay. Where do you want your relationship to go? If you're dating a chick because you want to marry her and pop out kids, you need to find a woman that's, worthy of that. I don't recommend, knocking up some party girl because that could be bad for her. Maybe find a good church girl or find, a girl that has kind of the same goals in line with you. And you kind of lead the timeline. Like, hey, we're going to date a year, 2 years, make sure we're compatible with each other. Then I'm going to knock you up. And, stay at home mom, her work part-time. You got to have that figured out. If you want that, you need to make sure your income can cover everything. On top of that, as a man, you got to keep your expenses down so you can take care of everything. You got to make sure your spending don't get out of control. You got to make sure that both you and your woman don't have outrageous car payments with an outrageous mortgage, outrageous hobbies, outrageous lifestyle to where you're both working 6-7 days a week, 10 hours a day to finance this stuff. And then you don't have time for each other. And the relationship falls apart because y'all turn into roommates, right? So that's where being a leader comes in, You got to set expectations, Keep the other from going astray. Keep yourself from going astray. Not only that, but as a leader, a man is normally responsible for planning out dates, planning out events. So if you're dating a chick, a good leader's like, hey, I'll pick you up at 7. We're going to go see a hockey game. Hey, I'm picking you up at 6. We're going to see Montrose. Hey, I'm picking you up at 7. We're going to have a picnic in the park. Hey, we're going for a boat ride today. Hey, we're doing this. Now, I ain't saying you got to plan everything out and be, the type A micromanager type thing, but a good leader knows what he wants to do. And a good leader makes things happen. And more importantly, as a good leader, you got to take care of your woman, especially in a relationship. So like if she's not feeling good, you got to see to it that she's healthy. She's starting to gain a little weight, you got to see to it she loses a little weight. You got to start cooking a little healthier, moving a little more, go more hikes instead of watching movies. As a leader, it's your job to stay on top of things and direct the relationship to the place you want it to go. And on top of that, you got to, take care of your followers, the person you're leading. You got to take care of your woman. You got to see to it that everything's going good with her. So yeah, I think from the above 3 I mentioned, I think leadership is probably the most important as far as relationships. Sales is the most important to getting a relationship. And, you got to work out to be, a little more attractive, more healthy. Especially in today's society. There's a lot of focus on looking good. So definitely got to work out. Anyways, each one of those 3 subjects I could probably rant on for about an hour. So I'm trying to keep these videos a little short. YouTube likes that a little better. Anyway, appreciate you watching. If you got a comment, concern, question, put it in the comments. I usually reply. I get them pretty quick, look at them. So the more interactive you are, the better. At the very least, I'll probably like the comment for you to reply. Anyways, that's all I got for today. Big guy out.